Shut the window. No, we're live. I'm back.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Founders Club. Today I'm going to be talking to Judd Hoffman, who is the founder and creator of Ethica AI, a real estate AI platform that is changing the game in a big way. And looking forward to having you on the show. Thanks, Judd.
Thanks, Oliver. It's super exciting to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Awesome. I appreciate it. And as always, guys, make sure you check out the links in the description and hit the like and subscribe button. And let's jump right in. So why don't we start with what is Ethica AI?
All right. So again, Oliver, by the way, I love your name. My cat's name is Oliver too, so I can't forget it. Ethica AI. So basically what we're doing is we have a product called Voice Pilot. And it's an AI platform that turns basically simple conversations into completed real estate forms transactions. And so, in short, instead of the agents having to spend hours navigating kind of paperwork, they can describe literally on their phone the deal, and Voice Pilot structures that into the document automatically.
Wow. So give me an example of how that would work.
Yeah, and right now, as it stands is if an agent wants to fill out like a RPA, right, wants to give an offer on a home, right now they have to log into their computer. They have to pull up whatever forms they use in California, where we are right now. They pull up usually zip forms. And so literally they have to log in, go in their computer and type away. So if they're at dinner, right, if they're doing something else, they have to go find their computer and fill out the form. What we're doing is someone can just literally pick up their phone, dial a number, say hi to Voice Pilot, and literally can speak the deal points to our agentic AI agent, and it fills in the form for them. And so what it does is it takes all their words and what they want to put in, it understands the intent and fills it out for them. And so when they're done, they just get a text on their phone and it shows them everything they filled out. And Oliver, what's really cool that we're just about to launch is when they first call, agents have been saying, hey, I'd love to kind of see it being filled out for me. They'll actually get a link as they call on their phone, and they can speak and they'll watch the form being filled out and they can correct Ethica. Like say they spelled your name wrong, right? They can say, you know what, Oliver is 1 L, 2 L's. It's just so literally all spoken. So we're meeting agents with what they do every day, which is just they're on their phone in their car most times.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So it's almost like a personal assistant for a realtor to help them get their paperwork done. Let's talk a little bit more about how it works in terms of am I calling it? Am I doing this over Telegram or Slack, or how am I interacting with it to get it to do my contracts?
So I'm going to go back to something you just said, Oliver, and I love it. You just said an assistant. The end of the day, that's what we want to be, right? And so just to kind of touch on that point pretty quickly is we believe that agents should be in front of their clients, right? Not doing paperwork. And so the long-term plan for Voice Pilot is to be the full transaction management tool or assistant for an agent. And so to answer your question, everyone keeps talking about what people need to do and not do to utilize AI. This is a phone call. So it's literally you dial a number. She says hello. You say hello back in spoken language. And if you've dialed in before, she'll even say, hello, Oliver. Can I pull up the offer from 123 Main Street? Or would you like to start a new one? And then what she'll say to you is, I can guide you through the form that you need, or just tell me what you need quickly, rapid fire, and I'll take it and I'll send you the form. So there is no logging on. There is no Slack. There is literally this guy. That's all you need.
Okay. So I'm calling it and telling it what to do.
Yeah.
Basically.
To be more specific, she's probably, and I call her she, sorry, she's going to help you tell you what to do. And just to hit on that a little bit more, is also one of our philosophies, Oliver, is we want someone that's been in the industry for a week or in the industry for 30 years to have the same offer go out. So the person that's been doing this for 30 years can just rapid fire at Ethica, right? And Voice Pilot's like, I got it. Let me put it together. Or someone that's literally their first offer, right? And they've never done this before. Ethica will, it's called a guided tour. Okay, Oliver, I know this is your first RPA. Let's go through it. And she will literally guide you through each line, name, offer price, address. And also what's really great about that too, Oliver, is we find 32% of the offers that are done right now are missing fields. And so whether you've been doing this for 30 years or doing this for a week, everyone's prone to miss a field. Ethica won't allow that.
Yeah, I love that. And you guys are fully integrated with the California Association of Realtors, I saw. Is that correct?
Yeah, so great question. So when you say integrated, we worked on this for a long time. So CAR has been an amazing partner of ours. So I actually just put out something that they're a lead investor in our company. So they saw what we were doing and they said, you know what, we'd really like to partner with you because you're helping agents. And we're not helping agents market, we're actually helping agents on the transaction side of things, right? The operations where, as you know, Oliver, everyone in AI is like, I can market better, I can do it better, I can give you better algorithms. We're actually working on the transaction side. So CAR has 220,000 agents in California, and everyone utilizes the CAR form, right? Which is the forms that everyone uses. And they said, if you guys can help our agents fill out the forms faster, but most importantly, more compliant, we would love to partner. So we did. And quite frankly, this was birthed with CAR. So they are an amazing partner. And starting in April, every CAR member gets this free, actually, as a member benefit.
Yeah, see, that's amazing because I think a lot of these things are starting to pop up, but you don't really know how legit they are or how trustworthy they are, how secure they are. And so to have that endorsement of the California Association of Realtors, I think just adds that extra level of legitimacy to what you guys are building.
Yeah, and you know what? You said something really interesting, Oliver. Trust is the most important thing, right? And so, like, once Carr said yes, you're absolutely right. And you know what? It's funny. I would say that AI has the worst PR team. Like, there's no one out there like saying like, "Hey, this is great things about AI." Everyone's so scared of it, and quite
Yeah.
frankly, I'm out there saying to everybody, if you utilize it correctly and stay in control, right? AI can help you have, instead of 2 arms, 8. And CAR has really allowed agents to kind of drop their shoulders a little bit and say, oh, okay, if you guys vetted this, I trust you as my association, maybe I'll give this a try. So the trust, by the way, has been everything for us. That's what we're going for. It's just a trusted advisor.
Yeah, no, I love that. And maybe we can touch on that other point there because I do think a lot of people are scared of AI. You kind of have the camp that are like, it's the greatest thing ever. It's going to revolutionize everything and everything's going to be abundance. And then there's the people that are like, it's going to destroy humanity. It's going to replace everyone. No one's going to have a job. Um, let's kind of talk through that a little bit. How are you feeling about that? And what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so it's one of the hottest topics that we think about on a daily basis, right? Like any other tool, it can be used for good and it can be used for not so good, right? And for us, what we do is remember the AI that we're using, right? We're utilizing AI not to do the work, but to take conversations and make sure the intent is there and making sure it's accurate onto a form. So the agent literally stays in control. What's happening is people that are detractors from AI are the ones that are literally giving everything over to AI and saying, I'm not doing any work. And quite frankly, that's just something that we don't subscribe to, right? AI is literally giving you the bionic arm to do it faster, but it's still your arm. And so every time that I saw someone that's a huge detractor, they said, hey, you know what? AI got the name wrong. Okay, tried. Once you fix it once, the good thing about AI is you'll never get it wrong again, right? And also, too, what you don't understand, you always fear. And that's been like that with computers. It's been like that with the Tesla car that it drives itself, right? People are very worried about that. But once you get used to it, and quite frankly, what we're seeing with the voice pilot is at first people are like, hi, voice pilot, how are you? Right. And then they all of a sudden get more comfortable. And then they realize they're still in control. And they literally can say to voice pilot, pause for a second. I'll be right back. They come back. It starts. Hey, Oliver, you were at line number 35 on section 35.2. And then they're following right along. So as soon as someone understands this is literally guardrails instead of the actual car, people get used to it. It's like anything else.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good way to look at it, especially with what you're building. I think um, you're building something to enhance and help real estate professionals be more efficient and effective in their business, which I think ultimately is the great thing about AI. Where we were having a conversation earlier, and you were saying how a lot of people are scared of it because a lot of people are trying to build the realtor replacement AI. So maybe you can speak to that for a second and
Yeah.
how you're
And so,
positioning differently.
yeah, a couple things. So, everyone says, well, I'll start this way. My co-founder and I, Jay Shaw, we are betting on the agent. So there are a lot of people not betting on the agent, but we really aren't betting on the agent. So full stop, we love the agent, right? I've spent my entire career helping agents. So, the agent stays fully in control, right? Fully in control. So Voice Pilot helps accelerate the drafting and the workflows, but it does not replace judgment, negotiation, or client relationships. So I'm going to stop there. Judgment, negotiation, client relationships. Agents are amazing marketers. They're the biggest small business in the country, right? Think about it. There's millions of agents that every day go out and market themselves. And so it's a human business, right? It's a human business. So when someone's like, AI is going to take my job, Judd, I'm like, AI is not going to show someone a house. AI is not going to negotiate. AI is not going to say, hey, make sure we get a better price on that wine fridge that's broken, right? But what AI will do is remove the administrative friction, and we're never going to replace the professional. So that is core to our belief is we are betting on the real estate agent. Always have, always will. Everything behind me was paid because I help real estate agents. And we're not stopping now.
Love that. Love that. And we appreciate that very much. Okay, cool. So how does AI change the transaction with this tool? Because it sounds like, when I have a new deal I want to put together, I'm calling Ethica. She, as you said, is helping build the contract. Is it asking me questions? Is it dialoguing in terms of like walking me through the contract? Because to your point, there's people that have been in the business 30 years and there's people that have been in, 30 days. And there's a big difference in experience level there. So how are we all using this to better ourselves?
Yeah. So you hit on a couple of things there. So first, it is extremely interactive. Let's just stop there, right? It's like what you and I are doing right now. You're asking me questions, I am answering them. But what she does a little differently than what you're doing is she knows the intent. She knows the intent of Judd is calling in because he wants to put an offer or he wants to do a listing agreement or a BRBC, an Avid, whatever. So when she knows that when you call in, so what she's doing is she's either going to say, Oliver, hit me. Just give me everything you want to put in this. And Oliver, you can just go down and she's like, uh-huh. We did that purposely so we can have a little back and forth. Or she literally can say, Oliver, if you said to her, hey, this is my first time doing an RPA, she will stop and she will say, okay, let me do a little tour for you. So what we're going to start with is, so it's a back and forth and you can stop her. You can also ask her a question. So if she says, you know what kind of contingencies do you want to put on here? And you're like, I don't know what contingencies are. She will respond with what that is. And so that's the real difference between logging in and going to a form and filling it out, where you can say also, what do most agents do? She'll also reply to that too and say, what we found is most agents will do 3.2%. You're at 5, that may be a little too high. So
Mm,
she will guide someone through, put it this way, Oliver, the more help you want, she's there to do it for you. And the less help you want, she's also there just to get in and get out as well. So we have
love
agents who are like, you know what? I have 5 minutes. I don't need her help. Fine. Call her, talk to her. She'll send you the form. I have some agents like, I have a half hour, but the average agent goes through the form in between 12 and 13 minutes. And that's the RPA, which is it's how you get an offer to a house. And
Yeah.
it's the toughest form to go through.
Yeah. And then what about and I'm sure it does this, but just walking through, I'm just trying to think of in my head
Yep.
how we can use this on our team and the agents. Is it remembering transactions? So when I call back and say, "Hey, I need to do an amendment or I need to change something here or there," is it doing all that as well?
Yeah, so great question. And I'm going to go from a broker and from an agent. So you say my team. So it's actually wonderful. So to answer your question in short, the question you had is yes. It not only remembers you, it has all your transactions, where you stopped, where you went, also where you are in the transaction.
Mm,
So if you come in and say, you know what, the seller came back with um, they want to, instead of 1.1 we gave, they want to come back for 1.2. Ethical will be like, great, let's do an amendment. Let's go back. So she knows exactly where you are and exactly where to begin and where you are in the process. But will also say, she will not negotiate for you, but say, remember, once you get signed on this, the next form, let me know and I'll send it to you. We can walk through that too. So she will walk you through the actual transaction. Now, when you said about your team, so I'm going to take that as a team, as a broker. So we also built this for a broker. And the biggest reason why this was conceived in the first place, compliance. So a couple of
yeah.
facts for you. 52% of agents right now are using the wrong forms. Outdated. They have them on their computer, and the 2025 was, and they're refreshed every 6 months. They have the wrong form. 52% of the time, voice pilot would not allow that, right? Fill out
Right.
the right form, the most up-to-date form. 32% of the time, they miss a line. They miss some kind of probably material thing where they didn't click a button. So if you think about it, this is literally a legal document, right? And so if you miss a line, someone can come back to you right we're about to close and say, you know what, I decided not to do it. And you say, well, the contingencies are done, but you forgot to fill this out. And so what we're doing is for brokers is brokers usually have to, as the transaction happens, they hope to catch everything before it closes if there's any mistakes. What we're doing with AI or voice pilot is as the transaction's happening, she is spot checking this, one for completeness, for the right forms, but also for compliance. So if the broker says, I do not want anyone giving out less than 2% commission, they will make sure that that 2% commission is the floor. Also, Avid, it's an Avid form. So basically, you have to go through and you say what's wrong and what's with the house, what comes with the house. If that's not filled out at a certain time, the whole transaction can go wrong. She
Mm,
makes sure that that is filled out at the right time. So brokers are loving the product because as we have guardrails. So from a compliance standpoint, brokers are like, you know what? I would have caught this probably too late, but Epic is catching this proactively where it's not even a catch. Hey, Oliver, you know what?
mm,
I noticed you didn't fill out line number 52A. Let's make sure we grab that. Thank
mm.
you, Voice Pilot. Thanks, Epic. And they fill it out. So really, really big for brokers for compliance.
Yeah, no, I love that because to your point, like there's so many times where someone will close a deal and they haven't got us all the paperwork yet, so we can't release everything And so, to your point, you catch stuff after the fact, and then it's too late to do something about it. So that's a really great feature.
And
Also,
brokers, oh, go ahead,
go ahead.
please. No, go
No,
ahead.
also, is it reviewing documents as they come back in as well? So it helps create it, and then does it review it, or how does that part work?
So the greatest thing about AI is it's not linear. It's all at once. So there is no lineality with, did I just make up a word? It's not linear with AI. Like it does everything all at once. So it's checking it as you're doing it. So it's not, it's completely let me check it. So as it's filling out, it's also checking to make sure a couple things. So Oliver, if you're putting an offer in, it actually checks for the vesting. So it knows that if instead of it's Oliver and a significant other, it's in a trust, it checks for that. So it also checks for everything. It also checks for, is the address and the zip code actually correct? Many times you have 123 Main Street, Corona, and it's the wrong zip code. She makes sure. So to answer your question, she's literally checking live time as it goes through. And little things like um, days. Some people say, you know what, let's do 30 days, and the date is wrong. You don't have to think about that anymore. You can actually say 2%. She understands what 2% of 452,865 is. There's no calculation there. She does everything all at once, and she's checking it for compliance, completeness, and literally accuracy all at the same time. All at the same time.
Love that. And then what about like counter offers and things like that when those come in? How are those handled?
Same way. So, the vision is if everyone's using this, right? So you have an offer and there's a counter offer and you're both using Voice Pilot, you can only imagine how easy that gets, right? Like you get a text, hey, Judd just gave out like Oliver using Voice Pilot. It's automatic, right? It's automatic. The good thing is AI doesn't play favorites either. It just does what it's told to do, right? So when a counter comes in, upload it, you can literally text it to Voice Pilot. Voice Pilot takes a look at it and says, what can I do with this counter? Even cooler than that, Oliver, you put your house for sale. You're an agent. You get 5 offers for that house. Ethica will take all 5 offers, will show you all 5 offers, and you can say, you know what? I want to counter each offer 10% more, or I want to take offer number 3 and do 2%. She will go in and do all of these at once. You can sign it and send it from Ethica. So she will send you the, e-signature, whatever you want to use. We have one. You can also use another one if you want to download it. And she will say, okay, Oliver, here it is. Take a look at it. Does it look right? Great. You know what, Voice Pilot, do me a favor. Can you send it to me? She'll send it to you on your phone. Sign it. Tell me when you want it sent. If you already told Ethica that this was going to agent, she said, it's already sent. Here's your confirmation. So she's kind of, to go back to your original point, Oliver, she's your assistant, right? She's your assistant that doesn't go home at 5 o'clock. She's your assistant that doesn't take a break. And she's your assistant where you literally can be fishing. Call up your assistant and say, hey, take care of this. And the reason why I say that, I'm not going to name names, but when I bought a house, my agent loved to fish. So I had to wait for he or she to go back to shore to get my offer. And it scared me, right? Offers, they're time
Yeah.
sensitive, right?
Time
And
is of the
so,
essence. That's right. Yeah.
and like say what time kills all deals. And so we're trying to help an agent literally do what they do well: market and negotiate and be there for your client. Paperwork. Hey, I was built for this, absolutely built for this.
Yeah, I love that. No, it's a really cool product you guys have. I'm excited. So for people that want to try it out or learn more about it, or people that aren't part of the California Association of Realtors that want to use it, how can they interact or give it
Yep.
a try?
Yep. So a couple things. It's www.heyethica.com. So if anyone goes there, and I'm sure you'll put a link in here, you go there, you can sign up. If you sign up, we are launching. We are launching in a couple weeks, and by the time I think this airs, we will be launched. And so they can go to www.heyathica.com and you can sign up, or you can actually just get access if we're out. Also, too, a couple more things, Oliver, that I failed to mention, which is just so cool. It supports almost every language, which is also a big thing. So you talk about AI, right? Doesn't matter what language. So, if you know Spanish and someone else knows English and there's someone else that knows French, it can do any language. So
Mm.
the RPA can be translated to any language that you want. So kind of cool, right? It's kind of cool. So it's heyethica.com, and you can go and by the way, too, there's a video on there. So we have a ton of videos, and you can literally press, like, it's a 2-minute video. It walks you through exactly what Voice Pilot is. And right now we're in California. So if you're part of CAR, it's a free member benefit. If you're not part of CAR, give us a call, right? Or give Ethica a call. You can have it as well, right? And so it's just, everyone can use it. And we will be nationwide in the next 6 to 12 months. This will be all over the country. We're starting in California, though.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah, I'm excited to try it out. Sounds like a very cool product you guys are building. Um,
Appreciate it.
and kind of as we start to wrap up, what are you most excited about in AI that's coming out, or what are some of the tools that you're really using a lot that you would recommend?
Yeah. So a couple things. I mean, I use Claude. I mean, to be quite honest, I think Claude is absolutely amazing. It's changed my life. But AI, just in general, I think it's making, it's like anything else. It's making things quicker, but it's also making things way more accurate. And I know there's a lot of detractors to that. It's like you see a hand with 6 figures. No, it's not that it's getting it wrong. It's just guessing because it can't see the hand, right? And so the more AI is learning, the agentic of I think it's really going to help us. It's going to help us get faster, smarter, but just as long as we use it, for me, I think, on a transaction operations layer, this, Oliver, it's not going to do this for us. Everyone said this can be done all AI. I don't think so. This human back and forth, again, specific to real estate, it's always been the human. And you asked, would I use it? I actually asked myself a different question. Where am I not using it that I can?
Mm.
Right? And so I think if people start looking at AI in that way, and I push my team to do the same thing, is, what are you doing where you can actually get help with AI? And if you start thinking it a little differently, not just writing an email, putting it into chat or Claude and coming up with something great, but how can it help me prepare for this interview, right? How can it help me learn about Oliver, right? How can it help me literally with my health, right? Like, hey, this is all my stuff. How can I eat better? How can I sleep better? I use AI for absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. But you know who's in control? This guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I've been using Claude a lot more too lately, and really excited to try and build my first open claw agent. So that's on my
Yes.
agenda for the next couple of days. I'm going to start playing with that, and yeah, excited about where it all goes.
Yeah, open club, by the way, you're gonna love it. So my agent is actually running in the background right now, doing all kinds of things for me, looking at my email. Like literally while I'm on the phone with you, or on the podcast with you, it's doing things and answering things for me. And when I hang up, I will literally have a memo that gives me the top 5 things I need to get to that it couldn't get to and needs my help. Like that's the kind of
Mm.
thing where, and just to kind of, Oliver, get that a little bit more, we're building the company with that in mind, right? And so instead of having a huge company, why not have a very specific company with people utilizing very, 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 very like distinct things of what they do, and then using AI to make them even better. So I'm pushing the company every day to, instead of my spend on people, I want my spend to be on instance, an AI instance, right? And how do I make my coworkers actually more productive than what they can be
Mm.
today? And that's how we're pushing things right now. And I feel the same way for real estate agents. Go do what you're great at. Let us make you like powerful behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think, and this is just my theory and could be totally wrong, but I think that people like working with people. And I don't think people will want to sell their house with an AI, even if it could do everything. Maybe a percentage of the market will, like for sale by owners. There's always a percentage of the market that will do that. Um, but I think for the most part, people really want the human connection, the empathy, the neighborhood experience, the local knowledge, all of that stuff. And I think that will ultimately prevail. And then with AI running in the background to just make us all more efficient and more focused and being able to just deliver at an even higher level.
Oliver, in closing, I'll just say this. The biggest problem with voice pilot right now, to be quite honest, people love the interaction with humans. That's never going to go away. I don't even got a non sequitur here. It's why live sports are doing so well right now. It's why people love to watch live anything, concert, sports. It's the camaraderie with people, right? And
Right.
I think we're downplaying that when people are so worried about anything. People love the human experience, absolutely love the human experience. So our biggest hurdle right now is speak to Ethica like you'd speak to a buddy or an assistant. And people are still having trouble with that because, to your point, they love the human interaction. They love it.
Yeah.
And so going back to real estate, I am the person that would use AI for everything. There's just not a chance that I'd ever buy a home without having a trusted advisor literally walk
Right.
me through the home because that's all part of the experience, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah,
all
for
part of
sure.
who we are. The agent's not going away. I'm just, to your point, it's the human experience. People love that. And I think that even the for sale by owners that you told, the FISBOs, even people come to the house and you know who they meet? The owners of the house. Like there's still that connection. Like you're not going into a house. There's not many people that go to a house empty and walk around and say, this is the house for me. It just rarely happens. Rarely happens. There's always someone there pointing out some really wonderful things so you can feel like I can move in here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Totally agree. Um, Really love it, Judd. I think you're building something really cool. I'm appreciating the fact that you're trying to help the agent. And I think that ultimately, by using tools like this, we all become more productive and better at our jobs and being able to ultimately serve buyers and sellers, the humans, a lot
Yeah.
better.
Yep, agreed. And Oliver, this is great. I mean, you've been wonderful, and we're very excited as well. And which it's only going to get better, right? And I always say to people, the great thing about technology is what you use today will be the worst version of that, right? And
Right.
so when you use it tomorrow, it's better, and when you use it tomorrow, it's better. And the more people that utilize the technology, especially AI, it's agentic. It learns, it gets better, and it gets better because of us.
Yeah. Love it. Awesome, Judd. I really appreciate your time, man. For those that want to connect with you or learn more, where can they find you?
Once again, it's heyethica.com. And again, I'm on LinkedIn. It's Judd Hoffman. But if you go to the website, you can reach us. There's tons of ways. And also, in about 2 or 3 weeks, you can also just on the website give Ethica a call. So if you want to know anything about the company, you can call Ethica, and she'll also tell you what I just told you over a phone, over a call.
Love it. Love it. Well,
Thanks,
definitely, guys,
Oliver.
go check that out. Sounds like a really awesome tool that we can all use to get better at what we're doing. And as always, make sure you check out the links in the description. And if you like money and you like real estate, hit that subscribe button because this is the show for you. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks, Judd.
Thanks, Oliver.